Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm the driver for the session, and I'm here with
Here,
who is my navigator for the session. So today we are going over Java Beginner Chapter 1. This is a quick summary. So Java Beginner is someone who just started learning how to write code using the Java programming language. At this stage, you're learning how to write basic programs using simple commands, use loops to repeat actions, make decisions with if, else, and conditions, create variables to store numbers, words, or other data, understand the structure like classes, methods, and how Java organizes code. Java beginners often start with small projects like printing messages to the screen, building simple calculators or apps, um, writing games like Guess a Number or 99 Bottles of Beer. Being a Java beginner means you learning how to talk to your computer in Java, one line of logic at a time. So we did do an activity in class that I'm just going to explain, which is chapter 1, control flow Java. So starting off, we have line 1, which is package chapter 1. So basically, this just tells Java that the file belongs to the folder or the module called chapter 1. Next, we have our class definition. So the public class control flow. Here, I'm creating a class name called control flow. Every Java program starts with a class. So over there, as you can see. Next, we have the main method, which is this line. Oh, sorry, this line. Hypo. This line over here. So this is an entry point. So when we run the program, Java will begin here. So now we have our first section called do something over there. Here we have our system output print. So basically this just prints a heading to show the section is about basic actions. Next we have our int x is equal to 3. That is where I am creating a number called x and I'm setting it to 3. Um, then we have our string name equal to Doug. Here I create a word and I call the name to set it to Doug. Next we have x is equal to 17. So here I'm just multiplying x by 17. So now x will become 54. Moving on, we have system output print in x is plus x. So this just prints the current value of x, which will be 51. As we can see over here in the output, x is 51. Um, Next we have double D math dot random. So over here, this will just generate a random number between 0 and 1, which is stored in the D. And then we have the system out print. So that will just print out a random number. So over here we can see the random number that is being printed. Moving on, we have number 2, which is do something again and again. So here we are busy with loop. So here we have system output print that just prints the heading for the loop section. And then we have our while statement over here. So the while statement, so while x is greater than 12, subtract 1. So this loops until x becomes 12, basically. Um, Here we have system output print in after while loop is plus x. So this just prints a new value for x after the loop finishes. And then we have our for loop over here. And over here, this just tells us that the loop will run 10 times printing 1. Printing I sorry from 0 to 9. So over here we can see that it did do that over there. Next we have section number 3. our if and else. So we have our system out print. Basically, let's just print setting for the condition section. Then we have our if statement over there. Let me just highlight it. Our if over here. So basically, it checks if x is 10, and if it is, it will print one message, and if it is not, then the else statement will kick in and say x isn't 10. Um, Here we have our next if statement over here. So basically, it checks two things. So if x is less than 3 and if name is stuck, both are true, it will print a output of gently over there. And then next we have the system out print in over here. So this will always print the line no matter what the conditions were. And then we have our if statement again over here. And what the if statement is doing, it's going to check if x is big or if the name is long. If either is true, it prints a message out. Um, we have our next if statement over here. So that is a nested condition. So first it checks if x is greater than 20, and then it checks if x is even or odd using the percent is 2 over there. And then lastly we have the string mode and the system output print. So this is a shortcut condition. So if x is less than 10, mode is chill, otherwise the mode is alert. So over here we can see the final output. And that is it for chapter 1. Do you have any questions, Priya?
No questions.
Thank you for watching.